The pressurization controller is set up by checking the outflow valves are selected to normal. The mode is selected to auto. The system may be tested manually on the ground by turning the landing altitude knob below -1,000 feet by 5 clicks. Pass is displayed on the controller display if no faults are found. This test is normally a maintenance action, but may be used to test the controller display if there is any doubt regarding its serviceability. Pre-flight. When APU air is available and selected on, air is supplied to the outflow valves, and the annunciators should indicate that both valves are fully open. In ground mode, both outflow valves are held fully open to ensure that the cabin remains depressurized. On the quad gauge, rate and differential pressurization should indicate 0. Cabin altitude should indicate airfield elevation. The landing altitude will indicate current airfield altitude. Landing altitude may now be set to the destination airfield elevation or 8,000 feet, whichever is less. In flight, the pressurization system transfers to flight mode when either number 2 thrust lever is advanced to a takeoff setting or a speed of 160 knots is exceeded. To prevent pressurization surges, the cabin is pressurized to an altitude 200 feet below takeoff elevation. Cabin altitude is increased in accordance with the climb schedule. No input is normally required to the system during flight. However, before descent, the intended landing altitude should be confirmed set. If landing altitude is greater than 8,000 feet, it may now be set to a maximum of 9,300 feet. A system failure requiring pilot action is indicated by amber pressurization. If the warning is accompanied by either dual, indicating a dual control channel failure, or ADC, indicating a dual ADC failure, manual mode must be selected. When operating in manual mode, the white pressurization annunciator is displayed on the central warning panel, with manual rate on the quad gauge, and MR on the pressurization controller. Cabin rate of change should be set between -300 feet per minute and +500 feet per minute to maintain passenger comfort. After 5 seconds, the display reverts from selected to actual cabin rate of change. Due to cabin rate of change being referenced to sea level, at high altitudes, actual rate of change may be different from selected rate of change. When descending in manual mode, cabin and aircraft altitude should be equalized shortly before landing. If the warning was due to cabin differential pressure being in excess of 7.6 psi, monitor the differential pressure. If a differential pressure of 7.8 psi is exceeded, switch off the packs selectively to control cabin pressure. Before landing, both packs should be switched off, and the outflow valve selected to dump. If the warning was due to cabin differential pressure being less than minus 0.5 psi, cabin air should be selected to fresh to attempt to pressurize the cabin. Before landing, both packs should be switched off, and the outflow valve selected to dump. If amber pressurization is not lit, any fault code on the controller should be recorded and then cleared by pressing Clear Display Fault. Following a loss of cabin pressure, cabin high altitude will illuminate when the cabin climbs above 9,700 feet. Oxygen masks should be donned and communications established before it is confirmed that the outflow valves are selected to normal. Cabin altitude and cabin rate of climb should be checked before an emergency descent is considered. Congratulations! You have now completed this module.